What's good? It's your boy CJ Goodfella back with the Boxing Clinic. Hitting y'all ass up with another video. And we got Erislandy Lara, aka Mr. Ran off on the plug twice. And just talking about this guy, man, is just one of the most baloney motherfuckers in the sport of boxing. Excuse my language right there. Just sometimes you gotta get belligerent to describe some of these fugazi boxers out here. And you know, you might be like, why is he going so hard on Erislandy Lara? Because for one, he's been talking shit with Demetrius Andrade on Twitter for years now, ever since they faced each other in the Pan Am Games or some amateur fight. I forgot who won. I think Erislandy Lara won. He talks all this shit like he's the king of the junior middleweight division. Yes, he's the most accomplished that's still trying to fight some good competition other than, well, he's the most accomplished at 154, even including Miguel Cotto, in my opinion. But he's talking about like he's the godfather, he's the upper echelon, top tier fighter in there, but he's not challenging himself. And you know, he said before Demetrius Andrade fought Jack Calcly that they was going to make that fight in June. Demetrius Andrade seemed down for it, and now he's pulling out of that fight and reneging on that bet, on himself, with fighting Demetrius Andrade and trying to chase down Jarrett Hurd, which is a easier target, a younger target, a less experienced target. And he's seen how he was fighting versus Tony Harrison, how Harrison was moving and hitting him with all types of shots. And he sees a dangerous, he sees an easy target, an easy meal, easy pickings. And Jarrett Hurd, he has a lot to learn. And Jarrett Hurd, one of my favorite fighters out there, how to cut the ring off, how to deal with a boxer. But one thing that he can find that he won't be looking for Jarrett Hurd is to get that power and get knocked out, because we know Erislandy Lara tends to fade away and lay around sometimes, and you know that's what happened with Tony Harrison. So, and he wouldn't move his hands as much as Tony Harrison. That's the problem with Erislandy Lara. It's one of the he probably the most boringest fighter in the sport of boxing. Might be most boring fighter past or present, but you know, talk all that shit that he talks on social media. You have to follow him to hear him. Oh, I do this, I do that, and don't do shit. Especially with Canelo, I beat this kid, I do this. It was a close fight, you know what I mean? But it's his own fault that he didn't win the fight, from the simple fact that he ran half the fight. While he was very effective punching early on and moving his hands a little bit more, he faded and he stopped moving his hands, you know. And he let Canelo right back in that fight. You know, I'm going to be offensive. When that guy get in there and talk all that shit, I'm going to knock him out, I'm going to punch, I'm going to outbox him, I'm going to do this. All he does is 1-2, 1-2, pity-pat, run, pity-pat. He basically tries to steal rounds. You know, he talk all that shit about Canelo, but he was pretty gunshot versus Canelo. You know, and then people talk about his resume post-Canelo fight. Ishe Smith, Yuri Foreman, Vanes Monterrosian, one of the ugly, boringest fights ever. Yuri Foreman. And among some of the worst resume of a champion in the sport of boxing, you know? And this guy, he talks reckless like he's the platinum standard in boxing, like he's a pound-for-pound fighter, which he will never be. Not with the style that he's currently carrying right now, you know? And I just think about his trainer. I'm like, I guess, you know, you can't change him. You know, he even called out, you know, before I was there in New York City for the Triple G, Daniel Jacobs fight or whatever. You know, he called out even Jermell Charlo, who don't train with Ronnie Shields and Jamal Charlo anymore. He trains with Derek James. I always say this with the Errol Spence trainer. And he said, it's business. We can fight and do this, you do that. You talk all this shit, though. But, you know, you just pulled out the Demetrius Andrade fight after this man, you know, looked bad versus Jack Calcly. Eked out a victory that I was very shocked that he got a decision over there, a majority decision, I think it was. And this guy's looking vulnerable. He's rusty. And you still run from the guy who's technically your mandatory, because he's the regular WA, you the super WA, but you want to go out there and chase the IBF champion and Jarrett Hurd. But instead of fighting Demetrius Andrade and seeing who the king of kings in the 154 pounds division, he's no better than Miguel Cotto, searching out James Kirkland, searching out Kamagai, searching out Brandon Rios, Juan Marquez, and not really wanting to compete and be the best at junior middleweight. Both of them pussies, you know, that's what they are right now. They acting like a bunch of pussies right now and don't want to compete and fight top fighters. You know, they're trying to find the easiest route to be the top dog and gain leverage, but it's no easy route to being the top dog. Go ahead and take out your toughest competition, Demetrius Andrade, chop the head off of the division, and then you can rule the division, make shots like you want to. But it's still at that point, if you beat him, and that's a steep beat, that's a steep fight, because he's 6'1", he can box, he's fast just like you, he's more active, and he has decent feet. You know, if you get past that, people still won't respect you as a real boxing champion because you boring as hell. Like, I know people could talk about Floyd being boring, but each move with Floyd is calculated. It's not running. He'll move and he'll counter every chance you get. You give him an offensive opening, Floyd damn near going to take it every time. Erislandy Lara, pity pat, literally running around the ring. Pity pat, it's no science today. It's pity pat, 1, 2, 1, 2, run around the ring like a child's fucking song or whatever. At least with Floyd and Lomachenko, you get some offense. You know, even more with Lomachenko. With Floyd, you get calculated. All right, he ducked, he moved. Now he's setting up the right hand. Now he hit you with a check hook. He hit you with the jab to the belly. You know what I mean? With Erislandy Lara, he don't even know what a fucking hook is. He don't know what an uppercut is. You know, he threw him soundly, but he don't throw him well. You know, he's boring. Nobody wants to see him on their TV. I don't want to see him on Spike. I don't even want to see the motherfucker on Bounce. I don't want to see him on the undercard. I don't even want him to be the opening card on a pay-per-view. And that's just my personal opinion. Now, this is me being biased, which is irregular on my channel, but that's just how I feel about him. You know what I mean? Then what makes me escalate to those feelings, now I'm really pouring out to y'all, is the point that he talks so much shit, but he pulls a fucking fuck move like that with Demetrius Andrade. This your boy CJ Goodfella. We gone.